Welcome to Greg Kelly Reports. I'm Lydia Serrani. Greg has the night off. And as we just watched, Melania Trump's incredible story from immigrant to first lady, from the covers of Vogue and Vanity Fair to making the White House so magical, especially during Christmas, to her devotion as a mother to Barron. And we are now just days away until the fiercely independent and enigmatic First Lady is back in the White House. Let's bring in our guest who knows Melania well, Mayor of the city of Englewood, New Jersey, and Melania Trump's immigration attorney, Michael Wilds. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, Lydia. Lovely to meet you.
Now, you know Melania, you know some of her family members very well. You helped her become an American citizen. How much did being an American mean to Melania?
I wasn't the lawyer of record for her citizenship, you should know. I helped her parents and her sister and then define her experience in the last election. She is an extraordinary person, First Lady, dear friend, and American. Takes great pride in the role that she once played and will play again.
You know, Melania's greatest role, I think, is that of being a mother. It seems one that she cherishes the most, the way she is with her son. It reminds me of how I am with my own daughter, Julia. And he has become such an incredible young man. And some of the headlines reflect that. Look at this one, how Barron Trump helped fuel his father's comeback campaign. What do you think about the fact that Barron is the one that told his father to do Joe Rogan, among other podcasts, to kind of look not just within the legacy media, the mainstream media outlets, but kind of do the alternative media to really get his message out there to people?
I think that Melania herself is an exemplar of what an American mom ought to be and how the priority centers around the household and the home. There isn't the conversation that you would have with her where the child and her parents played a central role, and that kind of translates in the priorities. Children, as we see, and I'm a grandfather myself, will do what we do, not what we say. And that example has been set forth in the home. And it doesn't shock me if her son then in kind speaks his heart openly to his father.
You said Melania is a friend of yours. What strikes you the most about her that you're like, wow, I can't believe she's so humble?
Her genuineness. There's a sense of elegance, not just in the style that she has and the grace that she handles the office of the First Lady, but also the humility, if you would, and genuineness, where she'll send a message, are you available for a conversation, never presuming that somebody will interrupt their day. The perfect lady, if you would, and a consistent friend. When my father was not well in the last year before he passed away in January, and her mom passed away a little after that, she was there for me like no other person, and understood the station that played in my life. That is, again, the best test of where somebody's priorities are. She's not into all the glamour and the glitz when it comes to people that she cares about. It's really a substantive relationship, and that to me is really emblematic of the kind of character she has. And again, I have had a chance representing her sister, her parents, to kind of know where that comes from. Her father and I are also very dear friends, very elegant European couple from Slovenia, where I had the chance to see firsthand when he got his citizenship, the kind of humility and the kind of role that America and this process plays in their personal lives.
She's also very independent. I think a lot of people don't realize that about her, and that she's not afraid to speak her mind. That's what we're learning. Does that surprise you that people sometimes don't realize just how brilliant she is?
Very smart and engaged, not just in substance, but in process as well. And I have been never shocked, but humbled again by the poise that she has and the kind of insightfulness when there are legal issues that come up. And it's very important for us to appreciate that, as the role of a First Lady is also to set a standard when it comes to things that are important. She had this wonderful Be Best campaign against cyberbullying and speaks to a community that we need to hear. And I can tell you that it's not form, it's real substance.
You know, Mayor, we are just 24 days away until Inauguration Day, Melania's return, I think also signaling a return to normalcy for this country. Do you agree with that?
There's a sense of common sense that seems to have prevailed here. I'm a very proud Democrat. You would never know that I would be on Newsmax talking about the future and past First Lady. But there's a sense of humility in the relationships that we all enjoy in this country when it comes to substance. I remember going to sleep as a child, listening in the other room. My parents were watching Johnny Carson and David Letterman. This was somebody who was from Nebraska and from Indiana. We kind of went to sleep in our communities knowing that the government would be ruled by people in the middle. The extremes seem to have taken over the airwaves in recent years, and it's very important for us. We had that experience with President Reagan, a Democrat who became a Republican, and a nation that then saw immigration policy change under his stewardship, despite the politics of the time. We have to come back to a sense of normalcy where presidents and mayors and families can kind of regale what's important out of this nation.
I'm a first-generation American myself. My parents fled a communist nation to come here to the greatest country in the world. We have less than a minute left. Your thoughts on President Trump's comeback? It's like it's the greatest comeback in American history.
There is a mandate when a person wins all houses of government and the popular vote to boot. Both of my grandparents were Holocaust survivors. I have a huge picture of Ellis Island where both of them came into the United States. And I wrote a book on immigration policy, Safe Haven in America, Battles to Open the Golden Door. This president understands that it's a door and a hinge, to close it against those that would come and want to cause us harm, and to open it to the greatest risk takers, entrepreneurs. I had the privilege of representing him for many years on immigration matters. So it's very important that we get whatever issue it is correct, that we meet in the middle on a bipartisan basis where possible also.
Common sense. Mayor Michael Wilds, thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Pleasure. Have a good evening.